All right, the Houston Texans got out there and did something that has never been done in NFL history before. And I'm going to make the argument why it was such a good move, how it kept them ahead of the curve and what other NFL teams are doing, and how I could not have picked a better player to do this for. So we're going to get into that. But first, my name is Craig. Me and my buddy Chris started this channel. Quite frankly, we're Lions fans. And I know you're wondering, like, why is a Lions fan talking about the Houston Texans? We've been talking about the Texans as long as we've been doing this channel. We saw some good potential in what they were doing. We thought their first draft with Caserio and Ryans together was something that was going to be special. And we want to give love to a team that doesn't get that national attention. So here you go. You found it here. If you want to see more Texans content and more NFL content, just continue, hit that subscribe button. So what did they do? What did they do, and why was it so darn smart? Well, it's simple. This man right here, Jaden Higgins, has become the first player to have a fully guaranteed rookie contract as a second-round pick in NFL history. All right, his agent told NFL Network's Tom Pelissero. He was drafted 34, yup. The person who was drafted last year at that same spot was Ladd McConkey, a wide receiver, and he had 91.2% of his deal guaranteed. So, over 4 years, he is going to make $11.7 million. He is going to be making less than $3 million per year. And you're getting him basically $2.9 million a year, and you're getting a guy that has the size, the production, the athleticism, the character to absolutely warrant him being a first-round pick. But this is a really good move for a number of reasons. It's the Houston Texans saying, we know what we need, and we want to bring in help for CJ Stroud. It's really simple. And you can help a quarterback in multiple ways. You can help a quarterback by building up an elite offensive line. That's the route the Lions took. They built the line first, and then they brought in more talent. You can help the quarterback by giving him a good defense, right? You can help the quarterback by giving him a good running game. And you can help the quarterback by giving him good wide receivers. I would make the argument that the Texans have done a good job of bringing in good wide receivers. It just hasn't fully panned out. Nico Collins is phenomenal. Phenomenal wide receiver. But Stephon Diggs didn't work out. He tore an ACL. Like, no fault of the Texans. No fault of the Texans. Tank Dell spent about half of his rookie year on deck. I think it was like 7 games. He was on the shelf because of injuries. And then he got very badly injured toward the end of last year. And I'm telling you, the dude's going to miss this year. So what this tells me, not just this pick, but also the pick of Noel, tells me that they're like, Tank Dell's not coming back. Christian Kirk's not going to be here for a long time because he's an older wide receiver. So what we have decided to do is we have decided to help CJ Stroud in an area that's been up and down. Nico Collins usually misses about 4 games a year, right? So let's bring in a couple of people that have a good injury history, that have not been injured, but also let's load the cupboard at wide receiver so we have future talent for CJ Stroud so he never has to wonder, like, who am I throwing the ball to? I'll never forget CJ Stroud talking ahead of the draft and during the draft, and Mike's catching him being like, I think we're going to take a wide receiver here. I think we're going to take a wide receiver here. I think we're going to take a wide receiver here. This was last year's draft. Like, he was all about, and I'm like, what? Why would they need to take a wide receiver? They got Diggs. They got Tank Dell. They got Nico Collins. This was something that was very clearly on Caserio's mind and on D'Amico Ryan's mind beforehand. And when you look and you ask yourself the question of why was this something that was already on their mind? I think what you can realize pretty quickly is because the other parts of the team, aka the other side of the ball on defense, was pretty well set. Pretty well set. Grade-wise, they were the 10th defense in the NFL last year, but they were the 19th offense. They couldn't get things going on the offensive side of the ball. That defense is a top 10 defense next year, just plainly if the offense plays better. And you're solving that solution. Look, complementary football. is huge. And I think last year, what the Texans did not do a good enough job of is playing complementary football. That's why it probably felt as a Texans fan like, okay, yes, we made the playoffs. Yes, all this kind of stuff happened, but it probably didn't feel like as successful of a year as it should have because the complementary football wasn't there. You scored 372 points. You gave up 372 points. And this offense with this young, phenomenal quarterback just couldn't get going. So you had to boost the offense. And your first 3 picks and 4 of your first 5 picks were all on the offensive side. Elite athletes, playmakers. And you were able, by trading out of the first round, you were able to get even more picks, which allowed you to do even more damage. Oh, man. Oh, wow. That did not feel good. I had my appendix removed like 5 days ago. Prayers for continued recovery. But sneezing doesn't feel good on that. But anyways, like that's kind of what I'm talking about with this. And so you look at the way that they're doing it, and this is why I believe they're a step ahead. They were able to, a lot of times you're able to address 1 or 2 position groups, and that's all you're able to do in the offseason. But they were able to completely overhaul their offensive line, which, by the way, is 3 position groups. I know it's 1, but it's 3. Tackles, guards, center. And they were able to completely revamp their wide receiver room. So now you have both of these things going in. So let me ask you this question. What is your confidence level right now as a Texans fan? Are you sitting here? I'm a 10 out of 10. I love what they did in the draft. I still have full confidence in CJ Stroud, who he is as a player, as a person. Can't wait to see what he's going to do this year. Or are you on the wait and see approach? Look, this is a team that when nothing was clicking on the offensive side of the ball this year, they still were a playoff team. This is a team that is still by far the best run currently organization in their division and by far have the most talent in their division. This is a team that I think can end up doing something really, really special. And so they're staying one step ahead. This Jaden Higgins signing is just one of them. The fact that they were able to get Noel at number 79 is just insane to me. And there could be many, many, many years going forward where CJ Stroud is throwing to Collins, Higgins, and Noel, and we're talking about how this is arguably the best passing attack. And then they have a defense that absolutely backs it up. Bleacher Report came out with a ranking of defenses heading into 2025. Look where you were at. Number 4. Number 4. You have a complete team. All right, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.